There is a vacancy for the general manager position for the Montreal Canadiens. For this episode, this bonus episode we're putting together here, I want to know from each of you the best candidate for the GM position according to you and the worst candidate according to you, and why.
I'm going to go. So I'll start with the best. I'm going to say I would like to see Daniel Breer get this position. He's been working in the ECHL, putting together the team there. And from what I got from the press conference with Jeff Molson is that it's going to be someone who is inexperienced at this job, someone that can be molded by Jeff Gordon. And I think also not maybe clash right away with them if it's someone that has a lot of experience in the league and might say to him, why are you second guessing me? I've got this many years of experience. So it has to be someone who's young, who's new. Also with the team in Maine that Daniel Breer has been working with, they're affiliated with the New York Rangers. So he probably has already a connection with Jeff Gordon before. And I just think that it could work well moving forward. The one that I think is, the worst candidate for the job, and I think fans are not going to like this, and probably not a big surprise, is Patrick Roy. Like, he did come out, speak to the media in Quebec City saying, you know what, why not take a chance on me? What's the worst that can happen? I'm just not buying that he's a team player, that he could work well with Jeff Gordon. When he was the coach of the Colorado Avalanche, he stepped down because he felt like he wasn't being heard enough from management, didn't have enough input on there, and he kind of took his ball and went home. So I just don't think that Patrick Roy would be someone who would work well in this sort of new position created by Jeff Molson on how he sees it going forward for the job of the new GM.
And I would have to go for the best guy, Matthew Darsh. From what I understand, sharp guy, obviously working in a very good environment in Tampa under Julian Brisebois and company. So I think that he's the type of guy that maybe can fit that role. On the other side, like Jess, I'm a little concerned if a guy named Patrick Roy was to step in there with his type of character and fire. Not to say that's a bad thing, but I think it would be tough to contain him when he should be contained at on a number of occasions. But I don't see him as the kind of guy that could handle that setting very well.
Yeah, I've said before on the show, I think to me Matthew Darsh would be my pick. Having said that, I don't know if Darsh would come here in the situation. It seems like if Gorton's the real GM, and I think he is, I don't know if Darsh is going to want to come here to be sort of like a glorified translator. Like, I'm going to be the guy who's going to go tell the fans in French what Gorton is doing. If that's the case, I think Darsh would say, you know what, I'm happy here in Tampa. I'm going to stay here and I'm going to wait for the next opportunity. And his name has been linked with Darsh's name has already been linked with the Anaheim Ducks job. So, I mean, if he was to go to Anaheim as a GM there, he would have a lot more control than he would here. So for me, for Darsh to come here and just sort of be, as I said, the French voice of the English GM, I'm not sure if he'd want to do that. On the other hand, Daniel Breer probably would, because to go from running an ECHL team to being GM of the Canadiens, that's a pretty big jump in pay and fame and everything else. So I think Daniel Breer might be more willing to come in and do that than Matthew Darsh might be at this point. And I'll agree with you guys with Patrick Roy. I mean, as a media member, if Patrick Roy came here, it'd be great. I mean, it'd be stories all the time. But I think if Patrick Roy came here, his number one goal would be to get Jeff Gordon out. And I wonder how much the French media might help him with that, because we saw that very sarcastic, good luck, Mr. Gordon, in English on the front page of the Journal. So Patrick Roy doesn't play well with others, or he hasn't in the past. And I think if they were to bring him in, I think in his mind, he's figuring, okay, how do I get this English-American guy out of here so I can actually run the Canadiens?
And another name that's been brought up a few times, Roberto Lewango. I just don't think he would want to come here either. His wife is from Florida, where he lives. It's really, that has been his home. St. Leonard is not really his home anymore. So I couldn't really see him wanting to move his family and come to Montreal, a place where his kids don't grow up, where his wife's not from. So, even though that name's been thrown out there, I just don't think that Roberto Lewango would be interested in making that move.
Yeah, when you see where those Panthers guys live, it's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Rick, what are you going to say?
I mean, Jeff Gordon obviously is got the final say in all of this. You can throw all kinds of names out there, but you personalities have to blend somewhat. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to get along, but you have to, you have to be able to find a happy medium where you can build up a good relationship with the same type of mindset. And Jeff Gorton is going to have to make that decision because he's going to be facing an awful lot of heat to, make things happen, make good decisions, because as we all know, everybody wants good decisions here.
Yeah. So my money's on Breer right now, just for the reasons I said. I think it'd be a big promotion for him. He'd be willing to sort of learn from Gorton and sort of stay quiet, maybe make his suggestions, but not expecting him to have the final say at all. So at this point, I think Daniel Breer might be the guy.
Let us know in the comment section who you think would be the best candidate for the job and who would be the worst candidate for the job. It seems as if we are all pretty unanimous in thinking Patrick Waugh would be the worst, even though he would make all of our media jobs 10 times more fun than they are right now. Subscribe to the Hockey Inside Out show on YouTube. Subscribe to the Hockey Inside Out newsletter. Hockey Inside Out should really invest in like a merch store, because I really think that a lot of people would be into the mugs and all of the cool, stuff that they have to offer. But in the meantime, check out hockeyinsideout.com for full episodes and other fun stuff.